Let's see. Oh, I don't need the top messages. Send them all. I'm only going to have like 3 or 4 viewers tops. Good evening, everybody. Everybody being nobody. But possibly anybody? Well, we shall find out soon enough who is going to join us. Oh well, I'll just get started by talking to myself. Let's see. All right. What are we doing here tonight? Well, the name of the game is Flashpoint, South China Sea. GMT game, that's a rubber band, don't mind that. GMT game, guy who made it, Harold Buchanan. And let's see, this game, it's not like a tabletop war game. No, this one's more like the prelude to a war, the diplomacy that leads up to a war. Basically, you got two sides. You got America in blue, China in red, and they are competing to influence this region the most. This is the South China Sea region, and all the countries attached to it. So you got the Philippines, Brunei, Indonesia, Malaysia, and Vietnam, and some of the islands within the sea. So basically, the way this works is both sides got these cubes. You'll see the cubes all over the map right now. Those cubes represent influence. There's economic, diplomatic, and military influence. What they want to do is put those cubes in the different countries, get ahead of somebody in a particular country or a particular area, and then trigger a scoring event, which are these scorecards down here. And those scores, if they're ahead, translate into victory points. And after 3 rounds, each round consists of having 6 cards in your hand. Once all 6 are used up, that campaign's over. After 3 campaigns, whoever has the most victory points wins. I'm going to be playing this solo mode, so I'll act as the US player. And there's going to be a solitaire bot controlling China. They got their own little solitaire card, so as soon as I draw one for him, it'll tell me how to prioritize, where to put influence, or what actions to take. There's a whole order of operations over there for what to do on the solo player's turn, so that's pretty much set. And I got the rules here for any confusion, but hopefully I won't need to dip into those. We can just get right to it. This game, it takes about maybe... It can take a half hour just playing by myself, but since I'm going to be narrating this whole thing, let's bump it up to like an hour, maybe an hour and a half. But I hope to get this all done tonight. I don't want to pause and resume this later. So, let's get started. First thing we need to do is America needs to put its freebie 4 cubes out at the beginning of the game. They can put them wherever they want. So, let me just zoom in. Let's look at the Philippines. Philippines, so you got your top bar, that's the economic. You got your lower bar, that's the diplomatic. The economy resets between the campaigns, so as soon as we go to campaign 2, everybody loses 1 economic influence wherever they have it. But you can score the economy, and that can be worth a lot of points. The other ones, it's max 3. Some of them are 2, some of them are 1. But yeah, that's the benefits of the economy. And diplomatic, it counts for points in the country overall, but it won't reset or anything. But there's no like score diplomacy overall kind of a thing. And then you see that there's like islands attached. The Philippines has Scarborough Shoal. Vietnam over here has the Paracel Islands, and Malaysia has the Spratlys. These represent military influence. America can do a FONOP, that's a freedom of navigation operation, and put a cube there. That'll last for only 1 campaign, and at the end of the campaign, it goes away. That's basically a FONOP is basically when the U.S. sails a Navy vessel through the islands or through the sea, just to demonstrate, uh, freedom of navigation. Just that anybody can sail through this sea, nobody owns it. Free commerce and all that, freedom of travel. The Chinese, they literally build islands, so they call it Chinese reclamation. So that's where they just find like a little rock poking out of the sea, pull up some old ancient map from the Qin dynasty, and we're like, yeah, we used to own that rock, so we claim it as ours, and we're stronger than the Philippines, so they can't stop us. It's ours now. And then they began dredging up sand and dumping it on there and making it big enough to build an air base, and you know have their boats all surrounding it and just extend their tentacles out into the sea. That kind of thing. So when they do that, when they put a cube there, that stays for the whole game. But it costs them a little bit more to do it. We'll get into that when that comes up. But anyway, putting out my 4 free cubes. I can only do that in economy and in diplomatic tracks. So I think I'll go with Brunei. And I will also go with, let's do the economy in Malaysia and Indonesia. And all right, so China gets to do the same thing. So we'll pull it out for the bot. First solo card for putting out the 4 free blocks at the beginning of the game. We got, first 2 are going to be economic, and it's going to be 1 in Malaysia, 1 in Vietnam. So 1 in Vietnam, 1 in Malaysia. Then we do another solo card. Top 2 are going to be diplomatic, so Philippines and Indonesia. 1 diplomatic influence in the Philippines, 1 in Indonesia. There we go. To make this game difficult, I already started China with 3 victory points. Alright, I'm going to draw my first hand, which, like I said, that's going to be 6 cards. So here's what I got. Let's see. Just gonna sort them. All right. So you got 4 China cards and 2 US cards. I can use the China ones for points. If this was a game against another player, then when I use their cards, they could activate the event or the flag on them by matching this symbol right here with their card. If this one's at the top of the discard pile, then it's kind of in play. So it's a little risky. In solitaire mode, that's not usually a player. Q&A sticker. Try it. What are you telling me, YouTube? Oh, well. Anyway, let's see what we got. We got Chinese checkbook diplomacy. That's basically China spilling money everywhere and making friends that way. Chinese jets intercept U.S. sniffer aircraft, which is an adorable name for an aircraft. North Korea launches a missile. Chinese funded Asian infrastructure investment bank invests heavily. Investment bank's going to invest, I guess. And then on the U.S. cards, we got Vietnam grants Indian firm ONGC Videsh drilling rights. All right. And Duterte bans all fishing in the Scarborough Shoal. Duterte was a Filipino president. He was more China friendly, but I guess this was like one of those times where he had to take a stand against China. Yeah. Anyway, I think he's under arrest at The Hague, awaiting trial for crimes against humanity for his brutal drug war. Anyway, we should get started. So they're all twos, no ones, no threes. I think I will start out with, let's see, what do these American cards even do? All right, if there are more freedom navigation operations than Chinese reclamations in the Paracel Islands, move all Chinese economic influence in Vietnam to available. All right, that can screw over Vietnam for sure. And then Duterte bans fishing boats on the Scarborough Shoal, move all Chinese economic influence from the Philippines to available. All right, well, let's see. If we wanted to quickly get some points, Indonesia were tied, Malaysia were tied, Philippines, they're actually ahead of me. And Vietnam, they're ahead of me. Yeah. Unfortunately, we don't have Brunei as an option, so. Yeah, let's see. All right. I think we're going to put out some. We should do some military exercises, some FONOPs. So I guess we'll do Chinese checkbook diplomacy for 2 points. This will be our discard pile. And let's see, what was that one about? Paracel Islands, move all Chinese. All right, let's do one in the Paracels and one in Scarborough Shoal, which makes us tied in Vietnam and the Philippines, because building on doing a military exercise on their connected islands actually counts towards your score in that country overall. So now it's China's turn. So we will draw one from the top of the deck for China. China got CR FONOPs. They got Philippines President Rodrigo Duterte. This is a neutral card. Anybody can use it. So let's see. Order of operations. Attempt to score with the solo card, with the solo opponent's event card, or friendly mode match. Well, let's see. So that's my discard. So can't friendly mode match. So we can see our FONOPs. America's winning, so we can't do that. So step 2, draw a solo card. Check for a friendly mode match. Yeah, there is none. If solo opponent's event card is a one-op card, oh wait, we did military exercises, we did 2, so that bumps up tension. So tension is now high. All right, good to know. All right. If there are 6 CRs, set tension to critical. Otherwise, set tension to low. Okay. All right. If tension is not critical and the solo card indicates political warfare, it does. For China, attempt political warfare. If successful, end turn. All right, we will do political warfare. So we'll draw one off the top of the deck. If it is equal to or less than 1, then the political warfare is successful. If not, then it's a failure. If it's a 2 or 3, it's a failure. So, oh, it's a 3. So that failed. All right. Then step 6, if that fails, is perform operations until the end of the turn. Go with Chinese reclamation first, and then place influence. Okay, let's see. So, top priority is Vietnam, followed by Malaysia. Vietnam has not been scored yet, so we will place 1 influence in Vietnam. Let's see. Would that be economic? It's supposed to be economic, but Vietnam is out of economic spaces, so where to place influence? Face-up scorecard. What type of influence? First and second campaign. I'm reading the rules now, so first and second campaign, place economic influence cubes if there is room in a selected country unless the economic scoring card is face down. If there is no room for economic influence or economic scoring card is face down, place diplomatic influence. All right, so Vietnam's the top priority. We should do economic, but economic bar is already filled up for China, so they went with diplomatic. Done. All right. That is the end of China's turn. Sorry, I confused my hand for the discard pile. Back to me. Okay. I say we do this now. If there are more FONOPs than Chinese reclamations in the Paracel Islands. Oh, wait. They could have done they could have done that. Sorry. Yeah. They set tension down to low, so they should do a Chinese reclamation instead of an influence. All right. Scratch that. They use their 1 thing to place Chinese reclamation to do a military op in the Scarborough Shoal, bumping tension up to medium. Okay, that's what they did. Anyway, back to the change my thing. So if there are more FONOPs than CRs in the Paracel Islands, not the Scarborough Shoal, which there is. Move all Chinese economic influence in Vietnam to available. All right. So, boom. China's whole investment in Vietnam came to nothing. I use the event for my turn. We are done. And yeah, let's do one for China now. Chinese fishing boats breach Indonesian waters. If the U.S. has the most diplomatic influence in the Philippines... Oh, sorry, we're not doing the event. It's a U.S. card. This is China's turn. All right. So, let's see. 2 points. Indonesia. Can they score it? No, it would be a tie. Can they mode match? No. Different mode here than the top of the discard pile. So let's see, what can they do? Step 2, draw a solo card. All right, check for a friendly mode match. We did. It doesn't. If solo opponent's event card is a 1-ops card, it's not. If tension is not critical. Oh yeah, apparently this also increases tension. So, all right, so if tension is not critical and solo card indicates political warfare, it's not critical, but we don't have political warfare on this card. If it was political warfare, it would have China's flag here. Okay, so we're not doing political warfare. Then step 6, perform operations. So we got 2 points, and because tension is high, basically the U.S. they can do these military exercises for 1 point each. They can place a cube in these islands for 1 point each, no matter how high the tension track is. For China, it's different. The higher the tension goes, the more it costs. So it costs 1 point on low, 2 points on medium, and 3 points on high. And of course, every time you do a military operation, then tension goes up 1. So it just becomes costlier and costlier. They have 2 points, but they need 3 because tension's high to place a cube on one of the islands. Which means we are stuck putting out influence. So it says Indonesia and Brunei. So we will do that. Indonesia and Brunei for 2 points. We're going with economic. Economic because the economic has not been scored this round. So 1 in Indonesia, 1 in Brunei. Okay. Now what we got. Let's see. Malaysia. Right now, China's still winning, and we haven't scored anything. So Indonesia, they're ahead. Should we make a play for Malaysia, maybe? We could. We could. Let's see. If I play this, it'll increase tension, and that'll move it to critical. Penalty for moving it to critical is that I lose 1 of my cubes in available. It goes into reserve, which means I have to use a point just to get it out of reserve into available. So let's see. So we will do this later. I think we'll spend 2 points, put some influence in Malaysia, and hopefully score that later. And maybe also the Philippines, just to keep them from scoring it. Or maybe Indonesia because they're ahead. I don't know. I'm feeling pretty good about the Philippines. Let's see. Let's look at their last couple solo cards. Yeah, that had a lot of those at the top. All right. Well, we got 2 Filipino cards, so we will go ahead and use this extra Filipino card, play that for points, and then we have 3 countries to possibly score on the next one. So let's see, 2 points. Don't want to increase tension, so 2 points. Malaysia, Philippines, or Indonesia. Let's put 1 in Indonesia to tie it up, and 1 in the Philippines in economic. That way we're tied in the Philippines overall, but I'm leading in having the most influence in the most economies. So if we score economic on the next one. Anyway, China's turn. We'll draw 1 for China. COVID-19 outbreak in China. So, funny thing about this game, it came out in, let me see the box. So that came out in 2021. So it was probably in development in 2019, 2020. Probably in P500 for a long time. That's waiting for enough people to buy into this game while it's in development. So chances are they saw some headlines about COVID-19 early on, but they did not know that COVID-19 was going to blow up. So in this game, COVID-19, which, you know, we've been there. We know what that's about. Back then, they thought like, 2-point card. 2 points not nothing in this game, but 3 is the max, and I think considering what COVID-19 turned into, what it did to economies, probably warrants a 3-point card. But oh well. Throat's getting dry. Hazards of streaming. All right, let's see. So, 2-point card, economy. They cannot score that. Can we mode match? We can mode match. It mode matches to the Philippines, where they have 4, and so do we, so that's a bust. So we will draw a solo card. No political warfare. Draw a solo card. Check for a friendly mode match. It matches. Check for a friendly mode match. If tension is not critical, it's not. Remove 1 fawn op. I think we missed our chance to do that at some point. Okay. Otherwise, remove friendly mode match. If match, if tension is not critical, remove 1 fawn op. And otherwise remove 2 of your influence. All right. So we remove 1 fawn op. They prioritize Paracel Islands, so that is gone. And I think it mode matched the other time too, so just to even it out. Boom. Damn. Which I think was the last turn, and that had Paracel Islands, so that should have been friendly mode match on that one. So we don't need to go back and rescore shit. So let's see. Paracel Islands, so friendly mode match. All right. Solo opponent's event card is a 1-ops card. It is not. Tension is not critical, and solo card indicates political warfare. Well, political warfare is not allowed, so we skip that. Go straight to performing operations. We don't have enough points for China to build an island in the sea, so 2 points of influence, which we will do economically in Vietnam and the Philippines. There we go. And that's that for that turn. Okay, back to us. This still is a good card. I wish I could match the mode and then trigger the event or score the economy, which I was in the lead in, but probably not anymore. Oh well. Well, actually, I am still in the lead in economy because we're basically tied except in Vietnam where I have 1 more than them. So, Philippines, they've pulled into the lead because they got a diplomatic and a military influence where I don't. Indonesia tied. Malaysia still a tie. All right. You know what? Let's do some political warfare. Let's use this Indonesian card for political. Actually, wait. We can. Let's use this. Shoot. All right. It increases tension, but I think that's going to be worth it this time. Move all Chinese economic influence from the Philippines to available and increase tension. But then we wouldn't be. Well, maybe we'll score it next time. All right. We'll play that. Okay. And that bumps tension up, which penalizes me 1 cube. Okay. Back to China. There. Oh, they got a 1-point card. Vietnam. They are not in the lead in Vietnam. All right. So attempt scoring, we did. They can't. Can we score with a mode match? Actually, it matches, but it is the Philippines where I just pulled into the lead. So can't do it that way. Draw a solo card. And this time it does indicate political warfare. But tension's critical, so they can't. All right. Anyway, following the order of operations, check for a friendly mode match. Yes. All right. If tension is not critical, remove 1 fawn op. Well, tension is critical, so no. Otherwise, remove 2 of your influence. So I'm going to guess that they want to remove my economic influence, and they want to do 1 in the Philippines and 1 in Malaysia. So 1 in the Philippines, 1 in Malaysia. Okay, solo card is a 1-op card. All right, set tension to low. If tension is not critical, what is this? Oh, hi, Burnaby, Rosas, Big B. What is this? This is Flashpoint, South China Sea. It's a game by GMT. Came out in 2021. No, that's not the year. That is, yes, 2021. So basically, it's not a war game so much as just the US and China, represented by blue and red, competing for influence in the countries around the South China Sea. So basically, they're trying to get all these guys to be more friendly with them than the other guy, or just have more influence there in general, one way or another. So they do it by, you can see each country has the influence, has 2 bars of influence. The top one is economic influence, the bottom one is diplomatic influence, and 3 of the 5 countries have these islands connected to them. That represents military influence, and the way that works is the U.S. gets military influence by just sailing a boat through. They'll put a cube down on one of the islands. That's called a FONOP, or a Freedom of Navigation operation. And that goes away each campaign. So as soon as this campaign's over, as soon as we start round 2, then those go away, because it's just a boat sailing through. We're not establishing a military base. We're just demonstrating that the sea is open for everybody. China, on the other hand, it costs them more, but they can put a cube down and keep it there for the whole game. And that's basically China being like, hey, this rock sticking out of the water, we claim that. That's ours. We probably owned it since the Qing dynasty or something. And we're going to dump a bunch of sand on it, build a runway that we can fly planes off of, have our boats refuel, and basically have a de facto military outpost. And nobody can stop us, and that's ours now. I don't care if it's the Philippines. What's their Navy going to do about it, kind of a thing. So yeah, that's what that is. And I'm playing on solo mode. And yeah, let's see, what else are we doing? So, one ops card, tension to low. If tension is not critical, it's not. And this card indicates political warfare. Do it. All right, so we're doing political warfare. We're going to draw one off the top of the deck. It needs to be less than or equal to this card for China's political warfare to be successful. Boom. Oh, they failed again. All right, so that failed. Then we just do ops for the rest of the turn. They have 1 point, tension's low, so they can afford one island. And they prioritize the Spratlys this turn, connected to Malaysia. Sorry, whoops, that goes to the other one. So that is what they will do. They will build a base in the Spratlys. Done. Back to America. All right, so Malaysia or Indonesia. Still tied in Indonesia. Malaysia, we are losing. I don't think we can score this round, guys, so let's do this. Let's do some political warfare. In Indonesia. So we'll use our Malaysia card. We'll do political warfare in Indonesia. If we succeed, then we can score Indonesia on the next turn and make up some of that gap. China, I gave them a head start because that makes the game hard for me. And also, we can just assume that China has a head start in Asia over America. So we'll do that. So yeah, political warfare. I will place these two in my political warfare track. Boom. And I will draw one card. If it is 2 or less, then the political warfare is successful. If I draw a 3-point card, that's it. I'm screwed. My political warfare failed, you guys. China seized a U.S. submarine drone. Dang. Okay. Well, that is it for me. Let's go with China's turn. China will draw one off the top. 3-point card, good for them. Philippines. We are tied in the Philippines, so they're not scoring it. There is no mode match, so they can't score that way either. Protest by Chinese veterans over pensions distract Beijing. It's kind of remarkable whenever there's a vocal protest in China. Usually those are not allowed to gain any traction. I think if anybody is going to be treated with kid gloves in China, it's probably going to be military pensioners. So, respect for elders and, glory to the People's Liberation Army kind of a thing. So, but even then, I wouldn't be surprised if after it dies down, there's some reprisals or anything. Anyway, so let's see. What are they going to do with 3 points? So we can't score. We'll draw a solo card. Solo card drawn. Check for a friendly mode match. There is none. Oh yeah, they built an island, so that went up to medium. Is it a one-op card? It's not. Is tension critical? It's not. Is there political warfare? No. All right. Perform operations till the end of the turn. So they will spend 2 points to build one island in Scarborough. Boom. Philippine island bases are doing well. And then they have 1 point left. That bumps tension up to high, so they can't afford any more islands this turn. 1 point for economic influence. God, I can't believe we haven't scored anything yet. 1 point for economic influence. Where at? Where at? Economic influence. Oh, right here on the solo card. Brunei. Well, okay. It's diplomatic because there's no room in economic. And now my turn. Let's see. I think we should... We got 2 points, so let's put... Let's put both in diplomatic in Malaysia. And that way we are tied in Malaysia. And actually they're going to lose an we're both going to lose an economic, but still. Indonesia's tied, Brunei's tied. I'm losing in the Philippines. And Vietnam, I'm winning. All right. So that is that. All right. Well, we completed the first campaign, so we should reset the board. Yeah, let's see. So, resetting. Tension goes down by 1. Campaign track goes down. Any of the scorecards that were scored get flipped back up. Not gonna happen because we didn't score for some reason. Usually you gotta like really score while the scoring's good, but it just didn't work out for me or China somehow. We each lose an economic influence, and I don't have any fun ops to lose, so just economic. So I'll lose 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, 1 here. And China loses 1 here, nothing there to lose. 1 here, 1 here, and 1 here. All right. We'll start round 2. China goes first. Round 2. Oh man, that would be a really good card for me. They call it U.S. participates in democracy diamond meeting, including India, Japan, and Australia. I think what they mean by that is the Quad. But okay, democracy diamond. All right, what's China going to do with this? Brunei, we're tied, so they can't score that. There is no mode match to score, so draw a solo card. All right, check for a friendly mode match. There isn't. Is it a 1-point card? It is not. If tension is not critical and there's no political warfare indicated, so they can't do that. So just perform operations. We got 2 points. It'll cost them 2, and they are prioritizing the Spratlys again. So 1 island in the Spratlys. And that bumps up tension. Keep forgetting that. All right. Let's draw my hand for this round. Oh, nice. Typhoon. Six cards. Okay. All right. Well, let's see. These are 1-point cards that I can adjust tension however I want and then still use 1 point. So that could be good for keeping tension at high, so that it's harder for China to buy islands. The Typhoon will destroy islands if I'm behind in VPs. So yeah, so I am at the moment. US is behind. That reduces tension to low, so it makes it easier for them to build new islands, but I can knock out 2 islands in one area. So that's good. What else we got? ASEAN. Who are these guys? Oh yeah, Narendra Modi. He's still in power. He's doing great. Prime Minister Shinzo Abe. Yeah, he's been better. All right, let's see. ASEAN countries work together. If the U.S. has 6 or more diplomatic influence, place 1 U.S. influence in 3 countries. So let's see, diplomatic. I got 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. Can't do that one yet. Chinese economic crisis. Place 2 U.S. economic influence. Then, if the U.S. has more economic influence than China, the U.S. receives 1 victory point. All right. That actually sounds pretty good. We should probably do that first. So we'll save that. U.S. accuses China of major human rights violations. So why is that 3 points? We do that all the time. Let's see. Move 1 Chinese diplomatic influence to available. Place 2 U.S. diplomatic influence. So we could actually combine this. So they lose 1, we gain 2, and then we can gain 3 more that way. But we shouldn't get bogged down in this. We really ought to concentrate on scoring stuff. So what's the last one? What's the last one? Major human rights. Yeah, okay. So I read them all. Let's see if we can score anything besides playing this event that gives me victory points. So let's see. CR FONOPS, I am losing that one. Indonesia, we're tied. The economy. Let's see. 1. All right, tied. Winning. Okay, I could score the economy and get a point that way. So we should do that. But you see our FONOPS are worrying me because there's 2 of them. Can't really worry about that now. All right, I say we do this one, score the economy, and then we will do this one, place 2 economic influence, and then be in the lead in economic influence. Because if we score the economy now, then China will default to diplomatic influence, and that'll be better for us. So we'll score economy with the economic symbol at the bottom of Prime Minister Shinzo Abe, RIP. So we will flip economy over, and let's see. 1 to 0, 1 to 1, 2 to 2, still 2 to 2, 3 to 2, so I get 1 point. Boom. And what's this do? All right, for each country, which has... Okay, cool. Done. China's turn. They draw a card. Indonesia, we're tied there. They could mode match, but that is the economy, which is already scored, so we need to shuffle their solo cards. 1 second. So let's see. Okay, draw that solo card. What is this? China develops the One Belt, One Road plan for Eurasian trade. Neat. Anyway, so we got their solo card. Friendly mode match. Yes. All right. Is tension... If tension is not critical, remove 1 FONOP. All right. Well, it's not critical. There's no FONOP to remove, so that's the end of that. Let's see. If solo opponent's event card is a 1-op card, it's a 2-op card. Alright, so if tension is not critical and we can do political warfare, we can't. There's no Chinese flag here. So then we just move on to performing operations till the end of the turn. Let's see. So it's tension is too high for Chinese reclamations. They can't place islands down. So let's see, where to place influence, what type of influence. First and second campaigns, place economic influence cubes if there's room in a selected country unless the economic scoring card is face down. Switch to diplomatic otherwise. Okay, got it. All right, so 2 points, diplomatic influence in Brunei and Vietnam. Now, Brunei, they already have a diplomatic influence, so what do they do? Do they bump it up to... Well, it's pretty clear that they have to place... They place diplomatic if the economic is taken up. It doesn't say that if diplomatic is taken up to place economic. Let me see. So let's see. Place one influence in each country with a face-up scoring card that is not locked until all operations used. There's more than one place in country order listed. Solo card looping to the top. Once there's no space for influence in countries with face-up scoring cards, place the influence cubes. Yeah, okay, so I think we're going to place an economic one in Brunei because the diplomatic is taken up. And then we also need to put one in Vietnam in diplomatic. All right, that is done. This is done. Back to me. So let's play... Let's play this one. Place 2 economic influence. Then if the U.S. has Chinese economic crash, so U.S. is had an economic influence than China, it receives 1 victory point. All right, let's do that. 2 economic influence. Where should we put it? Let's see. How about Malaysia and Indonesia? And is the U.S. ahead in economic influence? I would say that is yes. So I gained 1 victory point for that. Cool. All right. Back to China. China draws a card. Philippine boosts military budget. Place 2 phone-ups on the Scarborough Shoal. Set tension low. Oh man, that would have been a good one. If I can mode match that one on the next one, I might just have to do that. All right, let's see. So they got 2 points. Philippines. They are ahead in the Philippines by 2 points because of their islands connected. All right, so boom, they will do that. So Philippines gets scored. They get 1-2 points. So undoes everything I've done so far. Back to me. Let's see. Oh, Indonesia. We are ahead in Indonesia. We can score that. Brunei. See our FONOPS? No. So let's score Indonesia. And boom, 1 point for me. And Indonesia comes with a bonus. Let's see, boom. Compare all the cubes, differential up to 2 points. We got 1 point for that. The scoring side moves 1 cube from reserve to available. That is a pretty sweet bonus. Boom. All right, that was easy. China's turn. China plays President of Russia, Vladimir Putin. Neat. All right, so that's scoring Brunei. They actually are ahead in Brunei, so they're just going to go ahead and do that. Ah, man. And that also lets them move 1 from reserve to available. So they get a point, undoing all the progress I'd made. They get a cube from reserve to available. Bullshit. Okay, back to me. So we are not ahead in any of these. Let's see. I say we do... Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. If we play this, we'll place 2 diplomatic influence and remove 1 Chinese diplomatic influence. And then we can play this afterwards, where if the U.S. has 6 or more diplomatic influence, then place 1 diplomatic influence in 3 countries. So that's a way to get 3 points for 2. So I say we do that. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. So we'll play those events. Unless maybe we should try and lock down some countries, but let's see. All that's left is Malaysia, Vietnam, and the military exercises, which we're already losing. All right. So let's see. What should we do then? Yeah. All right, let's stick with the first plan. We'll do this. We'll remove 1 Chinese diplomatic influence and place 2 U.S. diplomatic influence. So, boom. I say we do it in... Vietnam, and Malaysia's already filled up, so I don't know, maybe the Philippines, because we're so behind in there. And then we remove 1 Chinese diplomatic influence. Maybe here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Cool. Yeah, all right. Cool. Let's see. China draws a card. Ooh, they got this one, CR FONOPS. So they'll score that and they'll get friggin' 4 points. That is not good. Double plus ungood. Okay, so that's what they do. What is the card anyway? China blocks the BRP Sierra Madre on the second Thomas Shoal. Some things never change. China's been chasing Philippine boats a lot recently over that boat. That's just a crashed World War II ship that they placed on that island. Philippines uses it as a military base. They use basically a sunken ship as a military base on a rock sticking out of the top of the water. China doesn't like them having a military base in the middle of the sea, and they want to claim that they own that rock. So they keep trying to chase Philippine boats, firing shooting fire hoses at them. Philippines has responded by having journalists on the boat recently, and they catch basically China being dicks to them, and it makes China look bad on the world stage. So far, they haven't found a way to counter that. They just look stupid all the time, and most recently they captured footage of basically a Chinese Coast Guard vessel, Coast Guard ship chasing a Filipino ship, and the Philippines were trying to get away from it, and the Chinese Coast Guard vessel kept doing this swooping motion and stuff, trying to like cut them off and crash into their ship. And the Philippines were getting away, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, a Chinese Navy, People's Liberation Army Navy, a PLAN naval destroyer cuts in to chase the Philippine ship, and the Chinese Coast Guard ship crashes into the Chinese naval destroyer, and and like I don't know, the ship got wrecked. It's terrible. There's footage of it on YouTube. Y'all should look at that. That's crazy. Just look up Chinese Coast Guard crashes into Chinese Navy chasing the Filipino destroyers. You'll find chasing the Filipino Coast Guard ship. You'll find it. It was popular for a minute. Crazy, made China look real stupid. A sailor might have even died, and then like the Filipino ship, when they got to safety, they like radioed the Chinese ship and were like, "Are you guys hurt? Do y'all need help? We have doctors on board. We can help." Just really made the Chinese look bad. Anyway, so they score the islands. They got 4. I got 0. So they just straight up get 4 points. 1, 2, 3, 4. Damn, 7-0. This is terrible. Okay. Oh man. All right, so we will play this card, and that if I have 6 diplomatic influence, which the U.S. does, place 1 U.S. influence in 3 countries. Basically, I get 3 points on a 2-point card. Place 1 U.S. influence in 3 countries. Okay. Let's go with. Yeah. All right, locked in. I'm done. China draws a card, and they get a U.S. card. Let's see. Vietnam. Has not been scored, but the U.S. is currently winning in Vietnam, so they cannot. They don't have enough influence to score Vietnam. So if I could mode match that, nope. Damn. Because that would be helpful. All right, so can't score Vietnam. They can't mode match to the discard card to score anything either. So what are they going to do? They are going to draw a solo card. Check for a mode match. There isn't any. All right. If solo card is if the event card's a 1-op card, it's not. All right. Is tension critical? No, tension is not critical. Yeah, okay. So it's not critical, political warfare. Okay, so they can do political warfare. So they will attempt political warfare. All right. Well, they're going to succeed because the highest card value here is 3. So I'm going to draw one off the top. It's a 1-point card. Hello, Mahathir Mohamad, the Prime Minister of Malaysia. Giving me Derek Zoolander memories. All right, let's see. So they won political warfare. That sucks for me. So they choose a country to lock down. Malaysia. Vietnam is not locked down. So I don't have 3 points anywhere. So it's going to be either the Philippines or Vietnam. Vietnam is closer to the top of their list. Well, Malaysia's at the top. I have 2 in Malaysia. But Malaysia, Malaysia hasn't been scored, so they will lock down Malaysia. Succeeding at political warfare, you place one of your influence cubes on the lock symbol here. And basically, they will choose either diplomatic or economic. They choose diplomatic because they have the most influence in the diplomatic track. Remove that, 2 available. And because Malaysia is locked, I am not allowed to put any influence in Malaysia. Darn. Okay, and end turn. My turn. Well, I got one thing left. I will destroy 2 of their military bases. Yeah, because I am behind in victory points, so I should do that. Where am I going to destroy them? Probably... Yeah, I'll destroy them in Malaysia since they're ahead of me there. Boom. And that sets tension to low. All right. And yeah, that was my last card, which means it is the end of the second campaign. So we need to reset the board again. We'll flip the scorecards back up. So bring the campaign track down. This would get reset. Fun ops, I don't have any. Remove economic influence. Everybody 1 wherever they have it. And this lock gets removed. Okay. Boom. All right, so that's reset. All right. Starting the final campaign, round 3. The board's kind of looking good in some spots for me. I am definitely ahead in Indonesia. And the Philippines, I'm not far behind, but I am behind. I'm way ahead in Vietnam. And tied up the Spratly. So basically, I'm only ahead in Indonesia and Vietnam, tied in Malaysia and Brunei, and losing by 1 in the Philippines. That said, the score is terrible. I don't know how I'm going to get 7. I don't even know how I can get us to 0. China even wins at a tie, so I need to somehow get 8 points. Just drag this thing all the way back from 7 to maybe just 1. I don't know how I'm going to do that, but we'll try. Unfortunately, China goes first. Okay. Beijing cracks down on corruption. So that was basically a purge that let Xi root out some people that were kind of working against him within the party anyway. Let's see. All right, so that's a 2-point card. Brunei. We're tied in Brunei. Can they mode match it? No, they can't mode match it. So there's no scoring they can do with this card. Draw a solo card. All right. Check for a friendly mode match. There isn't. Is it a one-ops card? No, it is not. Tension is not critical, but no political warfare. All right. Perform operations until the end of the turn. All right. So tension's low, so they can use one of the 2 points to build an island, and then that'll bump up tension, so they'll have to use the other influence to do the economy. All right. So one island in the Spratlys and one economic influence in Malaysia. Let's do that. Spratlys. Oh, and Malaysia, so boom. All their ships in. And tension bumped up because they did some military shit. My turn. Let's see what I got this round for my hand. 4, 5, 6. Oh, man. Wish I would have gotten some 3s. I don't know how I'm going to make up 7 points with just 2s. So let's see if we can score anything. Malaysia, we're both at 0. So Philippines, I am behind. So nothing like that. The economy in Vietnam. All right, Vietnam, I have 2 points. So I'm good on Vietnam for 2 points. And the economy, let's see. We're pretty much tied because they have 1 in Malaysia and I have 1 in Indonesia and everywhere else 0. So best bet right now, score Vietnam. Yeah, let's do that. We'll score Vietnam for 2.65. All right, making up the gap. And what was this card anyway? That was Vietnam Reclaims San Khe. Don't quite remember this incident, but San Khe. I do know that in the 80s, Vietnam tried to put their soldiers out on one of their outlying islands, and China came by on one of their naval ships, and they just shot all those soldiers like shooting fish in a barrel. And it's a small island too, so. And then they had them just massacring these Vietnamese soldiers that were just standing there doing nothing. They just massacred them, and they had it on camera. And then they used that footage in advertisements for their military to recruit soldiers that way. So it's like come join the Chinese military. You can shoot Vietnamese people. Kind of morbid. Okay, let's see. What else do we got? All right, so China's turn. So they're going to draw one off the top. And China draws Chairman of the Workers' Party of Korea, Kim Jong-un. Very fitting. All right, so CR Phonops. They are definitely ahead. Oh, man. I just got 2 points, and they scored 3 points. So that was their turn. 1 step forward, 2 steps back. Okay. So let's see. What else can we do here? So let's see. So are we still ahead? No, we're not ahead on the economy. So. Let's play this 1 point card. We'll set tension high to make it expensive. Now we'll do it like this. Let's see what these the effects on these are. So let's see. This increases tension. That'd be good. Move 2 Chinese influence from the Philippines to available and move 1 Chinese political warfare to available. So that won't really do anything, the political warfare side of it, because they just resolve automatically. 2 Chinese influence in the Philippines. Don't think the military stuff counts as influence. That counts as military operations. So we can't really do that. They don't even have 2 influence in the Philippines to get rid of. All right, so let's see. If more FONOPs than Chinese yeah, no, not so much. Yeah, oh well. So these cards really do nothing for me. I think what we'll do is we'll play this card. We'll play the. Let's see, Malaysia. They're ahead of me in Malaysia, so we shouldn't play a Malaysia card. I might accidentally get them to score it. We shouldn't play a Philippines card either, because that might get them to score it. So economy is safe. We'll play this economy card. U.S.-China trade war. Let's see. Yep, well, that one came true. Good foresight. I guess we were always in a trade war even back then. Yeah, that was Trump's first term, so yeah, there was a China trade war towards the end when he was jockeying for a good trade deal at the end of his first term, and then COVID just blew up, and then that was the end of any chance of them reaching a deal. Anyway, so 2 points. What should we do? Let's do a military operation to get tension high. We should do. We should do 1 here. That way they're not winning by 2 points, they're only winning by 1. And then we'll put economic in the Philippines. And that way we're tied up in the Philippines, covering my bases. All right. China's turn. What's China gonna do? All right, China draws a card. U.S. companies fear Chinese reprisals over support for Hong Kong protests. Yeah, I remember when the NBA, some coach in the NBA tweeted like some support for Hong Kong, and then like I think it was the Celtics or something. China wouldn't let them show Celtics games in China and stuff, and the whole NBA apologized. And, yeah, it was crazy. So, economy's already been scored, so that won't work. And no mode match, even if there was, that's also economy, so that doesn't help. So we'll draw a solo card. What is China doing? China, what you do? Can't do political warfare. Draw a solo card. Mode match, no, there isn't a mode match, so if the solo card, it's not a 1-ops card, it's a 3-ops card. So, frick. If tension is not critical and political warfare, well, there's no political warfare. So we go straight to perform operations. So they are going to spend all 3 points on building an island. And that will actually lose them an influence cube. So kind of good thing we bumped it up to high to make this so costly for them. So we'll do that. That is what we'll do. So they made tension critical. And for that, they bought an island in the Paracels off of Vietnam. Oh, but Vietnam's already scored. Still think they do it anyway. All right, what do we got here? So what are we gonna do? We gotta We gotta somehow score 8 points by the end of this to win, and we only got 4 cards to do it with. So let's see, where are we? China has 3 in the Philippines, and we have 3 in the Philippines, so we could make a play for the Philippines. What about Malaysia? We got 1. Oh, wait, I forgot to move one of their cubes too. Yeah, that's your penalty for making tension critical. All right, so what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Well, we can't do political warfare because it's critical. So maybe Philippines and Malaysia. What we got to do is pull ahead in the Philippines and Malaysia. So let's do that. Let's target Malaysia first. Yeah. So let's do both points for economic influence in Malaysia. That puts us ahead of China in Malaysia and also helps our economic stats. Yeah. And then we can score it on the next turn. China's turn. So China, man, they keep getting the 3 points cards and my cards, really good US cards. So let's see, what is this? Brunei, we're tied. They can't score. Can they mode match? Yes, they can. It goes to Malaysia, so that won't help them there. Ah, man. U.S. announces formal review of Taiwan Relations Act. Yeah, we did that. I think Mike Pompeo made it easier for diplomats of the U.S. to hang out with Taiwanese politicians and diplomats and stuff. So, yeah, that's good. Trump's been lukewarm on Taiwan lately, and I'm worried that he might just be using that to throw them under the bus and make a deal with China, but we'll see how that plays out. All right. I really wish this was my card, but it's China. So they get a 3-point card. What are they going to do with it? Attempt scoring? No, failure. Attempt scoring via mode match? Also failure. Okay, draw a solo card. They drew that solo card. What else we got? All right. Check for a friendly mode match. Yeah, there is. If tension is not critical, remove 1 fawn up. Otherwise, remove 2 of your influence. Okay. So where are they going to remove it? 1 in the Philippines, 1 in Malaysia. And it's the 3rd round, so they will target economic influence. 1 in the Philippines, 1 in Malaysia. Damn, those are the places that I really needed. So they the same places I was prioritizing, they targeted specifically because they were top of the list. And economic ones, too. Dang. Okay. Is it a 1-op card? No, it is not. It is a 3-op card. So if tension is not critical, political warfare, they could do political warfare, but tension is critical, so they cannot. All right, so operations until the end of the turn. They got 3 points. They can't do any island building because tension is critical, so it's the last round. Do they still... Place 1 influence in each country with face-up scoring cards that are not locked until operations value. If more than 1, place influence in countries listed in the order, top to bottom. All right. No space in a country, if all countries. Yeah, okay. So I've got to have a face-up scoring card. All right, so 1 in the Philippines, 1 in Malaysia, which are not scored yet, and 1 in Indonesia, which is also not scored. Dang. China is doing great. They are a really hard opponent to beat. So, Philippines, Malaysia. and Indonesia. Back to me. My plans blew up. What do we got? Let's see. So if we scored the Philippines, we'd lose 2 points. If we scored Malaysia, we would lose 2 points. We'd lose 1 point. All right. Can we still maybe pull ahead? All right, so there's going to be a final scoring. China's going to get like 3 points just for their islands. I only got 1 to their 4. They are possibly, they are winning in economy. So I could narrow their lead in the economy, maybe. I think at this point we should prioritize final scoring, so let's see. Economy hasn't been scored yet, so I think that's what we should do first. So let's do the economy. So we'll use 2 points in the economy. What are we gonna do? Let's see. We're currently in the lead in Vietnam. We're losing in the Philippines, so 1's got to go there. We're winning in Indonesia. We're tied. I could pull ahead here. I could tie things up in Malaysia. So I should either tie up Malaysia or pull ahead in Brunei. Maybe we could score a point off that. AP, analysis paralysis. What do we do? So let's see. 0, 1 for China, 0 for the US. 1 for China, 0 for the US. 1 for China, 0 for the US. Well, I guess we ought to do that. There. All right, China's turn. Oh man, again with the 3-point cards. Jesus. All right. This is brutal, y'all. Okay. What is this? U.S. and Chinese planes collide. I think that happened under George Bush. It was way overshadowed by 9/11, but it was a big deal. Like before 9/11, like our plane hit their plane. I think their pilot died, and our pilot parachuted down into China. And they held him for a minute, and he talked it out. They got all grumbly and mad about it, but I don't know. It was resolved, and then 9/11 happened, and everybody felt sorry for America, and you know the rest. All right, let's see. What are they going to do with 3 points? So Indonesia. We're ahead in Indonesia, so they can't score that. Can they mode match? No, they cannot. All right. So attempt scoring, done that, failed. Draw a solo card. Mode match? No, there is none. Solo card's a 1-op card? No, it's 3, again, because they're lucky. Okay, what else? If tension is not critical, and solo card indicates political warfare. Okay, so tension is critical, and there is no political warfare on this solo card, so just perform operations. They get to place 3 influence cubes. Going to be economic, and going to be these top 3 countries. Going to be Philippines, Indonesia, and Brunei. Brunei, we just put 1 down there. All right. Philippines, Indonesia, and Brunei. Philippines, Indonesia, and Brunei. Dang. Okay. Guys, U.S. is going to lose this one. Hate to say. So let's see. Malaysia, can't score that. We're losing. Philippines. Philippines, we are so losing there. All right. Let's see. What should we do, y'all? What should we do? I think let's play the 2-point card. And, one in the Philippines and maybe one in Vietnam. Vietnam's already scored, so maybe Malaysia. Yeah, we'll do that. Maybe not Malaysia. Maybe we'll place this right here and we'll leave it. Yeah, that's what we'll do. We'll leave it. Got a plan. Wait till you see it come to fruition, y'all. Yeah, so I charged up my political warfare and we'll see how that works out later. All right, we're going to draw one for China. They drew President of the Republic of Indonesia, Joko Widodo. He just ended his term. They got a new guy now. Prabowo, I think his name is. So, anyway, but Widodo was there for a good long while. All right, so this is a one-up card. Indonesia. We're tied in Indonesia, so they can't do anything. Can they mode match? No, they cannot. All right, so draw a solo card. Check for a friendly mode match. There is none. Is it a one-up card this time? It is. There are not 6 CRs. That's Chinese reclamation. So otherwise, set tension to low. Boom. Let's see. Set tension to low. All right. If tension is not critical and solo card indicates political warfare, it does not, so they can't. All right, operations till the end of the turn. Tension's low, so they will do a Chinese reclamation. Where? Parcels. That's where they're gonna go. In the Paris. Oh, wait. They have no cubes, so they're gonna have to move. I think, actually, the solo one, all their cubes are available from the start, I believe. So yeah, we'll do that. Doesn't matter. We were going to lose anyway. Parasols, I said? I did. Parasols. Boom. Oof. Our turn. Let's see. All right, how about this, guys? We're going to do political warfare. Oh, wait, we already have a cube there, so we can't. Damn. All right. Well, I guess we'll just move this one to available for absolutely no reasons. Oh, this got moved up to whatever. Anyway, we still have one cube already in political warfare, so here's the deal. I'm going to draw a card from the top of the deck. If it's a 1, then we are successful. If not, not so much. But if it's a 2 or a 3, we lose. So if it's a 1, our political warfare is successful. We can lock them out of a country and remove all their influence in one of the influence tracks on the country. So boom, let's do it. Yes, thank you, leader of Taiwan, Tsai Ing-wen. She just retired the other year too. She's replaced by somebody from her own party, Lai Ching-da. So yeah. Let's see. So yeah, that was successful. This goes back, and we choose a country. Where are we going to kick China out of? They don't have 3 cubes anywhere, but we have 4 in the Philippines, and they have 5. So if we do this, we'll have 5 cubes in there, and then I can remove these 2, and they'll go down a bit. So we could do that. And I say we do that. All right. Let's do. That's it. This is the end. Oh, tension bumped up. Boom. Not that it matters. This is the end. We finished the 3rd campaign, so we need to do final scoring. Everything comes up. Let's start with the lowest numbered card. That's Brunei. Brunei, we are all tied up. That was 49, 50. Indonesia, we are all tied up. 50, 51. Yep. That's Malaysia. Malaysia, they're ahead by 1. Damn. Let's see. 52. That's Vietnam. Vietnam, we are all tied up. 53 is the Philippines. Philippines, well, we have 5 and they have 3, so we get 2 points. All right, now we're only losing by 7 points. Economy. The economy. So I'm ahead by 1. Tied. Yeah, okay, so now they get a point. They get 2 points. Oh, man. So we're winning in 1 country. They're winning in 2 countries. So they get a point. And then CR FONOPS. So they built more islands than we did FONOPS. So they get 4 points. 1, 2, 3, 4. China wins again. That's it, you guys. I think China had a lot of luck with the cards. We had our hands were not terrible, but, we got very few 3s. China, they kept getting 3-point cards like almost every friggin' time, so. Oh well. That's it. Anyway, thank y'all for tuning in. And we are going to end this live stream here. That was, again, Flashpoint, South China Sea by Harold Buchanan, GMT. Give this game some love. It's, the cards, it's kind of dated already, but it's nice seeing old headlines and stuff for nostalgia purposes. Cards are beautiful. They got nice pictures on it. It's a nice little window back to pre-COVID times, what that diplomatic situation was like. Anyway, I'm going to end it here. Thank you guys for tuning in. Bye. Okay.